gosh, what's going on here? Okay. Okay, I think I'm live. So, welcome everyone. Akasha here. Happy full moon. Wow, there is some interesting energies going on. So, welcome to the full moon dragon. It's actually a Leo full moon at 5 degrees. So, if you have a 5 degrees in your chart, your natal chart, it's going to be within 2 degrees either direction. But if you have a 5, you'll have more. And Leo is a fire sign. Leo is the big fixed. Yes, I'm here. The full moon is all about harvesting the ripeness, the celebration, illuminating everything that you've achieved and enjoying it like a celebration or a feast. Yet, we have some other energies going on. So if you've been feeling like I'm ready to enjoy this full moon, I'm ready to move forward, I'm ready for something, and then frustration, annoyance, things that I think I need to do that, I forgot something, or feeling like you didn't do your homework or you didn't clean your room and you're out playing and you're probably going to get in trouble. Okay, that's a little bit of the energies we have going on right now because our full moon is having an exact in conjunct to Saturn. And I'm going to explain what these mean and why this energy is really important for you to understand as you move through this full moon, and why this full moon is a portal into the last threshold between the rabbit yin year that we've been in and the dragon yang year. So make sure you join me this week, 2 days, okay? On the 27th, it's Saturday, with Donna Stellhorn, our master astrologer, and she's going to come she already talked to us about 2024, and we're going to have her back a lot this year because she's my teacher and my friend, and I love the way that she interprets this information or intel, as a dear friend of mine and client and teacher says. This intel is vital, and when you have new information, when you have new access to new understanding, new levels of truth, new states of consciousness, when you were 3, you could only conceive of certain things, not just the physical aspect. When you were 5 or 7, you had certain interests that you don't have anymore. Certain things fascinated you that don't interest you whatsoever because you understand them. They're integrated, right? They're part of your neural pathways in your brain. They're part of the regular, everyday, automatic systems that we have within us. Now we are the conscious being in the center of all of this. And yet we were taught, and we are realizing and rising out of the fact that we were told a whole bunch of stories that was interesting. It's like reading books. That was an interesting story. That was an interesting era. We have lives in all these different eras, as all different genders, all different people, good guys, bad guys, everything in between, because that's the point. So we're not here at a bad time, and we're not here at a good time. We're here at the peak time, the pinnacle. This is a tipping point. Boop, 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 up the pyramid or the mountain, and woo, 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 woo. We're at the top. We're at unity consciousness. Does it look like we're at unity consciousness? Not really. So what happens when there's this fast of an evolution, this fast of a transformation? Revolution, innovation, unrest, right? Pulling, blaming, looking for, why am I uncomfortable? Why is there constant change? I want to talk about that. I want to blame this person. And all of the lack of personal growth that is unfortunately rampant across the planet is getting shed by force. And this is some of our planets like Saturn, all right, or Uranus, or Pluto. All right, so these are some of the players that we're looking at right now, and they are energies, they're essences. You can think of them as people with a personality, a purpose, a talent, a job. They've got certain medicine. I call it medicine because your frequency, your vibration is a particular frequency. And it is your medicine. It is your magic. It is the essence of who you are. And there's a lot of it that you don't know is there, that you're exuding. Maybe you're not aware that you're exuding your lack of self-confidence. Maybe you're working on it and you come off awkward. I went through that phase for sure. So there's the growth and the transformation. And then we get into it and we reject ourselves and we judge ourselves and other people because we don't think we should be in the transformation, or we think it should be easier, or we think that someone should have done something. And we were taught to put our authority outside of us. Not only you tell me what to do, the government or the church or the head of the family, the school. Think about it. Everything in our cultures has been designed to say, these are our rules. These are the people that you have to listen to. And you must check in. You must get permission. You must get authority. You must have a stamp. You must have a code. You must have your papers, please. And all this time, there's nothing wrong that we've been living this life. Been pretty interesting, to be honest. Plenty of stuff I didn't like, plenty of stuff I love, plenty of stuff that I'm so glad I experienced but don't want to experience again, like the death of my daughter. These are powerful moments. Every single moment we are alive, we are living a rare and unique moment that will never exist again. Why? Because that particular combinations of energies, not just that it's the full moon or it's the full moon in Leo, or that in conjunct to Saturn is causing all of this, standing in your way. Okay. Like, well, in conjunct is that conjunct, right? Oh, okay. We're like this. Now, what happens is irritation and annoyance. And if you've been feeling that, I was loaded with it yesterday, and it is so rare for me. It is not the state that I live in anymore, and it is not the state that I've ever really lived in. Of course, I've been frustrated and annoyed. Of course, I went through my divorce for 3.5 years and was just shocked and amazed every day and was just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Of course, I have bouts of emotion that I can't control. And a lot of my life, I was a people pleaser. It was the way that my soul and my personality developed within the context of the authorities of my family and who I wanted to please in order to be accepted, to receive the love, and to feel safe. And these are just the core basics. Most people understand this now. We're no longer going, wow, really? I have beliefs. I have automatic pathways in my brain that just take off and react. I have to interrupt that pattern. Everybody really has heard this, whether they've practiced it or not. So you and I are here together because in this world, in my reality, on my planet, we create our reality. And whether we really believe it or not, or we want to believe it, or we think it's too good to be true, this has been the topic. That was my original website, createyourownrealitynow.com. And I don't own it anymore. And the people who took it in a bit of a sleazy way, but the people who took it, originally put up some bad vibes on there. So don't go there. And the difference is that we've evolved. We've evolved. I've been online for like 18 years. And yeah, it was an interesting place back then. I can tell you that. What you look at now is not the same reality. And I read a really interesting article of someone who said that the analysts, I don't listen to analysts. I think that it's interesting people analyze stuff, but the predictions make no sense because we're in a spiral universe. We are all consciously co-creating. At any moment, you could pop. One of you could decide, oh my gosh, I'm going out of my comfort zone and I'm going to take that job and I'm going to move. I'm going to go to Australia where I want to see those kangaroos. Kim? And, I'm going to come to the dolphin retreat in March. I'm going to go to Greece. I'm going to do something, right? That's what you've wanted or what you've wished you could have or what you felt separate from. This is about reclaiming your power without disempowering yourself. So Leo energy is here and you are going to enjoy the Leo part of this full moon. Now, today is the peak of the full moon. You've been feeling it for days, depending on your sensitivity. I rarely sleep in the full moons for a few days before and after. And the last 2 nights I slept very deeply, got up several times, went out, looked at the full moon, wove with the full moon, watched the full moon rise over the ocean last night. Oh, it was gorgeous. I didn't get any pictures initially, but the bottom of the moon was kind of red as it was rising, as it was close to the horizon, and how it gets that red orange for the sunset. It's the atmosphere. And so I'll try tonight to get that photo. So we're in the peak of it, and that means you're feeling the most of it. So first of all, I want you to always think of the moon is your happy place. Okay. This is the loving arms of the loving friend, mother, elf, angel, whatever presence you want. We have such a screwed up relationship with mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, teachers, presidents, governors, kings, queens, right? All those relationships that we've created have been dysfunctional in some degree, and we have inner wants. When you go in and you realize I'm dragging dead wood with me, I'm dragging around these inner wants and they're not relevant anymore. I'm going to tell you where they are. I want you to go to what you crave. I want you to go to what is most attached to, where there's a part of you that's restricted for receiving or letting go or looking at it and you just won't let it go. Is it guilt? Is it an obligation? Is it a way of thinking? Is it a habit? You don't need to go, oh, I don't want to change how I eat. Go deeper first, because the mental, emotional, the auric, the soul levels have way more impact across the board on every level of your life, including your money, your finances, your health, your relationships, your identity, your ability to communicate with your higher self, or all the realms. We talk to crystals, fairies, animals, the coconut trees, everything's alive. Everything has a soul. I've been speaking to it as a child. Then I went through, many decades of my life trying to run and achieve like everybody else, to fit in, to follow the rules, to make money, to please everybody, to be a good person and a good citizen and a good daughter, and just tripping and falling and succeeding and climbing to the mountain and then rolling down the hill and epically failing again. And that was, in the moment, extremely exciting and extremely painful. And yet the fact that I went through it means I'm now sitting on the top of the hill, just like you. I'm on the top of the mountain going, that was very interesting. Wow, did I learn a lot. I'm so glad I had that experience, because you know what it taught me was I can handle that. I have resources. When I let go, the support is there. Just at the last moment, the money would come in or whatever. This is what you're meant to do. You're meant to separate from the opinions and the stories and the TikToks and the news and just blah, 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 blah. Be selective, be very selective what you feed yourself, okay? Listen, watch, who, where, what, how much. Are you getting in nature, even if it is just walking outside your front door, okay? Is there some element that is hijacking your ability to be in the present moment? Then you are stealing this rare moment from yourself. And the full moon in Leo, full moon illumination, harvest, it's the ripeness, it's the fruit at the end of the whole growth process, the cycle of life. And the fruit at the end of it is the juicy reward, right? Ooh, I get that pineapple. I get that. Did you know pineapple is a berry? I get that pear. I get that mango. I get that papaya. Those are my favorites. Blueberries and whatever. So whatever it is you like. Now, that's your life. You are in constant creation process. You don't think you are, or you didn't in the past, and now you're starting to figure that out. Everybody's starting to figure that out when we're realizing, this doesn't work for me anymore. So one of the biggest things you can do for yourself in a full moon energy is to let it illuminate for you. Ask the full moon, is the divine sacred feminine holding you in a safe and beautiful way? The grandmothers of my circle of timeless wisdom watchers that have become, one of my most primary guides now, started to come through in the fall, came through in the oracle cards, and then came through for the prosperity magic class, which we're doing now, and you can join us. And what happened is, as on the solstice, which was the real new year in terms of the planets and the cosmic flow, I went to the temple of Venus because she came through, Aphrodite, a few days before. I was supposed to have a guest, I think, and she came through and gave us this whole love bath. It's all here somewhere on the channel, so subscribe and check it out. There's playlists for all of these spiritual weather reports, the meditations, the dolphin healings, the whatever it is. And then they began to appear. And when I was at the Temple of Venus, we were sitting on, I think, the second to last tier before the top of the pyramid, and they guided us to where to sit on the pyramid. And Chris and I were there, and this beautiful dog came with us. It was really unusual because it's in the jungle, and we were sitting there. We got connected, and we did our light bodies activations, and we started to go deeper into meditation. And I go here a lot, and I have been here for 8 years, connecting to the Mayan ancestors and energies, going into the caves, doing sacred ceremony and cacao ceremonies, and Mayan ceremonies and Aztec and Jaguar ceremonies and ceremony caves, and work with shamans in the jungle, at fires that have been kept for a week and have manifested actual physical manifestations of things in public. And it's just being a part of that magic and that ancestry living on the land. I'm so in tune with all of that is as real to me as this desk and this computer. So what I want to invite you to do is the same thing. Where do you live? Do you connect to the land? Do you understand the energies? If you feel sad about the energies because, it was a Indian reservation and all the people were taken away and shoved into some place somewhere else and told them they couldn't speak their language, or, there's a lot of that grief and sadness. There's unfairness. There's, we're still seeing it, and we're still going to see it. And that's why, to become the master of your reality and start creating the reality you want, you cannot stay a part of that. You cannot watch the news and get depressed. You cannot get upset about a war. You cannot do it. And here's the thing is, I'm not telling you not to care. I'm telling you not to create it. Please. If I could go up to every person in the world and just click a disconnect button or give them cat medicine. The cat is in every form, the quality of detachment. They can be fully embodied. They can enjoy the hell out of yum, yum, catnip, food, pet me, great. Okay, bye. And then just soar right out of their bodies. They're healers because they can take your shit, just through them, throw it out to the universe or down to Gaia, wherever it's appropriate. That they're not attached to it. They don't judge it. They just say, oh, you need to clean that out. There we go. Who cares? Whatever. So they're at a higher consciousness level. They move through the astral to the higher planes, to the other places that all these realms are waiting to help us. So we've been tricked and fooled, but it isn't that we blame anybody. We all agreed to this experiment. We all agreed, and we went really deep, which means just like my life, just like your life. Wow, I'm a millionaire. Wow, I have no money. Wow, I'm in love. Wow, this divorce is hell. Wow, whatever. Means I have come into a body and I fully lived it. And I could say, I wish I had gotten faster, or I had figured this out, or whatever. And yet, if I look at it from a higher perspective, time doesn't mean anything. Oh, I wished it was sooner means you're not accepting where you are and what's happened. And you need to look at the scale of consciousness. Just go and get it. I don't know. There's something here somewhere, but I don't know how to say it. Do it yet. Here, I've got a whole new platform to share things with you, and I hope it'll work. I don't know how to see your comments. Here we go. Let's see if I can see them. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Lisa. Okay, cool. So this is fun. I got a new computer, and it's faster, and it can do these more updated platforms, and I'm going to be able to bring guests and multiple guests on. So before we dive into, I'm going to share some slides because there's a lot of complex energies happening right now, and some pictures of the full moon from me and from Donna, my assistant, and she's way on the other side of the planet, and she got the most amazing pictures of the full moon, and she was so nice to share them with us. And then we're going to do a meditation. Okay. And it's always a meditation using the energies that are happening right here, because I truly believe that we're supported, that even when Saturn comes in, and most people say, oh, Saturn is restrictions and prisons and it mean and is a bully and a taskmaster and whatever. It's like, no, I reframe that into, this is a Zen master. And if you understand the concept underneath that is serious. Okay. Serious, not really lovey-dovey, but always teaching you, always watching you, seeing the deeper part of you, understanding you're going through a journey, not judging you, but also not letting you go forward when you're not ready. So if you're still carrying stuff. So the dead weight that you want to let the full moon illuminate is what beliefs are you bringing? What feelings about yourself are you bringing? Even if you've had a phenomenal, few months, right? I mean, I was like, people who came to the retreats in December are still feeling the impact of that unfolding, because it is literally transforms who you are and how you relate, how you react, what you're looking from, your concept of identity, your concept of yourself. Many people who came were so empowered by traveling by themselves or traveling to another country, or feeling comfortable there. I remember one lady who came to Greece in October, and Greece is going to be a very deep kind of dragon goddess magic ancient energy thing this time. And if you are ready for this dragon growth year, this is something you want to seriously consider. It's going to be womb creation space stuff. But she had been very worried about traveling overseas by herself as a woman as well. I helped her through all that. And we were walking around Athens the day before the retreat started. We met for dinner. And she said, the thing that's most shocking to me is how normal it all feels. Here I am all this way away. I thought it was going to be so, and I'm just walking around, not like she wasn't somewhere different for sure, but it didn't feel that way. And her heart called her. She knew she was meant to be there and had to go through all those decisions. So if you've had that kind of, because I'm constantly going through every portal, the retreats are portals for me as well, for major transformation on a lot of different levels, personally, as a teacher or a mentor, as somebody who has this assignment of now bringing through the grandmothers. And so when I'm sitting there, I turn and look, and there, if you've been watching my shows, you've heard this, they're along that same, the pyramids are step pyramids. So we're sitting along a pretty wide platform. The Temple of Venus is a little different than the typical 9-step pyramid. Its purpose is different. We even got to go inside of part of it and see and touch some new carvings that were there. So anyway, these grandmothers were lined up. So Chris and I are sitting here like this against the wall here, a little ways where there he is. And then I look here, and there's this grandmother here, Rose, and then another after her and her, and then down that way. And they're all dressed differently. They're all different cultures. They're all different races and different beautiful gowns, and they're all just watching out. And then we went, temples are all stargates, so that's why I go, that's why I take you there. We go into the caves because it's a stargate that'll take you to places in time or space that are optimal for you. So this is why people are still transforming from all of this. And now we're at the first full moon of this year, calendar wise, and we're coming very close now, okay? So we're just less than 2 weeks from the shift into the dragon year. So you've been feeling it. The dragons are coming in like crazy. We're doing amazing dragon stuff in the Sacred Spirit Guide Circle. So if you join now, we'll give you January and all of the meditations, the Meet Your 2024 Greenwood Dragon, that's the dragon energy. You get meditation with that. We pull dragon cards and work with different dragon energies and dragon fae, the fairy realms or the deva realms, the Celtic goddesses. And that's going to all be coming forward in Avalon, in Glastonbury and Avebury, and some of the sacred circles in England in September, October. So these are the sacred steps they're showing me. There's one more, and it's a gathering. It feels like it might be at my house. I don't know. So the full moon is illuminating things right now for you. And normally a full moon would mean a big party, like, woo. Okay, this is what Leo does. Just stands there like a big bonfire. Oh, here I am. Isn't it great? Not like I'm greater than you. Just that enjoyment of being who you are and shining and letting it hang out and just being like, woo, this is awesome. And enjoy being you. Now, what's happening in the prosperity magic class is that the grandmothers are taking us through how to connect to these infinite realms and these original elementals. And the full moon energy, we have a class today, the full moon energy is adding to that. right? It's adding to the ability for you to see, for you to receive. You need to enjoy. You need to be like, yes, I'm going to enjoy my light. I'm going to feel my light. And now I want to share with you. Hi, Sylvia. Gorgeous full moon. Oh, okay. So let's get over here. Now, okay, that works. That works. Let me see. Give me a minute. This one. Okay. So somebody give me a comment if you are seeing my slides with me in it. That's what I think is happening, but I'm brand new to this platform. So how do I make this bigger? How do I see my slides properly? I don't know about that. Okay, let's see, present. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I don't know. This is, okay, now I'm confused. I apologize. How do I use my slides? Maybe I just go here, I hope. Okay, so if you all will tell me, or Donna, Chris, somebody, tell me if you're seeing my slides, okay? Tell me if you are seeing my slides. Okay. Please tell me if you're seeing my slides on YouTube. Thank you. And now my phone isn't working properly. Are you seeing my slides? Yeah. Oh, good. Thank you. My phone won't work right. Okay, good. So welcome, everybody. This is the full moon. This is the Leo full moon at 5 degrees. And that's relevant just to check if you have anything hitting you. And the prosperity magic is at, I don't know really how do I put my URL on here, honey? Banners. Let's see. Shop, show. Oh, okay. I think that's working. Okay. So, and the Sacred Spirit Guide Circle, if you join now in January, you'll get January. And it's all dragons and different ways of connecting to the dragons, the different dragon realms, messages, your own personal dragon for this year. I think it's quite phenomenal and exciting. And even if you don't feel resonant with dragons, I've always liked them, but it's never been a big thing for me. They're becoming very, very prominent now. And then each month we do 2 live calls, bringing in different sacred spirit guides and channeling them and doing healings and readings and everything. And then next month, we're having the Sacred Soul Powers class where we are going to actually connect with your other lives that are relevant because they're ready to share powers with you, which means you get to heal whatever wound you may have in common, so to speak. That's a catch-all word. And you get to start to share your wisdom with these other aspects of you. And we've got the Dolphin Healing Retreat coming up. This is the Jaguar Temple we went to last time in our altar, Greece. And here's the full moon. This is the full moon rising last night over the ocean. And I didn't get my phone camera out until it was a little too high, but when it was lower, I told you it had this beautiful red bottom, this red-orange bottom. What I love about these photos is how you can see here the rays. Do you see how it's divided in half, the circles and the concentric circles? You're seeing the radiation of the light. And then at some point you see rays that go out in all the directions, right? Like this. So we have our cross. And then there's another cross here. This creates our 3 dimensions, okay? And then you can see how it radiates these auric fields, these things. And then rays are coming out and it keeps going. This is just what we're able to see through this camera. So you're doing the same thing. So you are affecting people and everything around you. And then your reality is reflecting back to you who you're being. So it doesn't lie. All right, so stop blaming yourself or other people and just look for the information and go deeper into the moment. This is Donna's picture, okay? My assistant, Donna. Hi, Donna, thank you. Wow, I mean, just like, wow. I don't even know. What is this? What in the world is this camera? Isn't that something? The full moon. And you know what's interesting is you see on this end, it looks like the pole looks like lines radiating out in every direction from that, like it's the crown chakra or something, and going out around the moon. And you can see the rabbit. So I was raised with the man in the moon, which I never got, and it's female energy. So it felt like perhaps it was a little bit of a hijacking again that happened there of the sacred feminine being the moon energy, which it is. This is about your wishes, and this is about the closest energy to you. You track the moon because it changes faster than any other body out there, and it has that kind of effect, right? And so you compare everything to the moon, to where your moon is. And so the rabbit is there, the face, and then the bunny ears going back like this, and then the body underneath. And he's almost a little easier to see from far away. And that's what Ixchel, my goddess, that my house and everything is named after, is the holding the rabbit always, because she's the goddess of the moon. And wonderful. All right, so full moon in Leo, we've been talking about that. A full ripe moon in Leo means fire may be ignited within you. And what happened to me yesterday was really unusual because I was on fire, man. I was like, ready, fire, go, let's make it happen. And everything annoyed me. Everything frustrated me, from the prices to the availability of a product. And I don't get upset about any of this anymore. It's just, and I felt like I was being hijacked by this energy. And I'd be like, why am I doing this? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm like to Chris or something, if he was there with me listening to me, I was like verbal diarrhea. I couldn't shut up. And I was like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. So I just take a break, bring myself back to center, be like, this stuff doesn't normally bother me. So I'm going to get into why this big fire is also having restriction, right? It's having it's running into something. And that restriction is Saturn. And we talk about Saturn. I like to think of Saturn as a strict Zen master, which means always looking out for your highest spiritual good, can see where you are, see the blocks that you're up against, and will tell you to wax the car for 2 years, knowing that you're secretly learning a bunch of other lessons. And that's the truth of your life. Everything you've experienced has been a profound learning that you'll never be able to access. You'll never be able to, that moment will never exist again, that you can access because you're a timeless being. So these grandmothers that are coming through now all the time, every day, are timeless, ageless grandmothers. Don't ask me, that sit on the temple of Venus or Aphrodite. That's the goddess of love. So that's the embodiment of the divine feminine, pure love, acceptance. There's no judgment. They watch, and we were sitting there, and then suddenly we were on a temple that looked different in another time in China, watching something there. And then we were in another place, and another place, and another planet. And we were going to all these places through the Stargate portal of that temple, but we were always sitting there. And Chris and I were just sitting in the middle of all these grandmothers. So that was like very tangible experience. And now they're coming through, constantly bringing us in to saying the prosperous, peaceful, powerful present moment is where you create, because everything is here. So all these kind of cryptic messages we've had for years, like be in the now, and the present moment is a present, and it's all true, but we could only grasp certain levels of what that really meant. And sometimes it felt a bit more like a sermon. Be appreciative of this present moment, which then I thought meant I can't want something else. I can't think about the future. I can't create. I can't plan. I don't like that. And none of that is true. It was our limited perspective. So you're very quickly evolving, and that revolution of Aquarius energy is really rising now. And Aquarius is independence and freedom and expression, but it's also technology. So we're seeing AI and technology. And this article, I think I started saying, I read recently, was all about how in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to experience 20,000 years of growth in that aspect of our lives. Not even 100 times. 20,000. Now, doesn't really mean anything, but think of the context. All right. We don't wait for some random person's opinion, analysts, uh, especially if it's doom and gloom prediction to come true. You take this information in. What that told me is that, oh, because I don't listen to other people much. I don't tune into that. I'm way too tuned into the moment, to these all these beings talking to me, to the information I'm bringing through, to growing and evolving myself and transforming my body and my abilities. And it's my purpose, and it's time to make it the number one priority. And so now, this energy of the fire and the happiness and the yay me and the confidence and the courage and self-love all wants to come to the surface, but it's not able to, and or it's feeling that frustration, it's feeling attached. So really take a look at dead weight. Think about it like, oh, I'm a tree and this bark all fell off, but there's this big hunk right here that's still stuck on, and I need some help knocking it off or pulling it off. It's sort of half there. I'm dragging it. What in your life, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever level, is acting that way? So I have my Leo cup here. I guess you can see me. Marley coffee. It's a beautiful lion with gold. Ta-da. Okay. So in this full moon, you can see where your passionate is, where your passion and where you are passionate, and where this brings you joy. Joy is a high state. It's a high state of masters, because it's at a place where it's not just happiness. And of course, we want happiness and all that. It's the state of abundance, and it's it's a mental state of abundance. And what we're doing in the prosperity magic class is learning to let go of how we felt limited, connected, where money comes from. Today and Saturday are money, specifically prosperity aspects, money. We've been getting ready. We've been clearing, cleansing, aligning. We've activated this harmony crown in the crown, and it's amazing. We've reconnected to the 12 rays of creation, and they're bringing these energies to us. We are stepping in with less effort, more peace, and more flow, like this flow. Okay. And you see how she's working with those energies. She's conjuring, she's moving them. It's like playing with dough or something to create. This is who we are. We have to clear the sacral because it's full of shame, blame, fear, and torture and all that. And let it become a nurturing place that can hold and sustain a creation and empower us, attract respect, wealth, reverence, and being seen. And we can't ask for any of that, whether it's from your soulmate or from someone who sees your value, who wants to pay you, until we align to that. So you are the one responsible for this moment and everything in it. And any part of you that says differently is dead weight that you need to slough off. Let the full moon show you. Now you can let the fire of the Leo burn that away and rise into courage. Courage is a great state. You can look at the scale of consciousness in the shop. And the full moon is what fills you full of this safe nourishment. This is what the grandmothers are telling us. You must feel safe. You can't feel safe because you have money in the bank. You can't feel safe because you're married or you have a house or you have a job. All those things could change tomorrow. You could lose your job and then everything else. So, and if you did, it would be the best thing for your soul. And you might hate it for a while, and then you'd look back at it like I just said and say, wow, that was the most powerful thing that's ever happened to me. It was really painful. And yet now look at me. I'm strong and I'm wise and I'm accepting that experience, and I'm not carrying or craving. Craving is the state of desire from the original scale, and I call it addiction, because desire to me is something that rises from my soul that says, ooh, yes, and motivates me to think about or move in a way that I'm as out of my comfort zone, but aligned with my soul. So this sense of safety is not, oh, I'm safe now because I have a job. I have people who tell me they can't come on my retreats because they have a job. And then they are between jobs and they say they can't come on the retreat because they don't have a job, because they need to know they have a job in order to go on the retreat, to spend the money. This is a surefire way to have a really frustrating life. You put the pedal on and then you stop, and you put your pedal on and you stop. I'm going to do this. No, I'm not. I'm going to do that. No, I'm not. This is a limit. That's a limit. This is a limit. I don't want to ask for someone to watch my kids. I don't want to ask for, time off at my job. I don't want to spend the money. I don't want to whatever. I don't care what the excuse is, and you could sit here and talk about your situation. Everybody has a situation. What I can tell you is that I've seen people who have nothing come to retreats, do private work with me, take a class, do something else, okay, that changes everything. And I have beautiful clients who've, had their entire life change from, parents dying and children moving out and all of this changing to the point of like, wow, I've been freed from everything. Now, where do I go? I don't know. And they're wandering. They're surrendering into the life that's calling them, because we always want to know. And that means we're following a limited egoic plan. Okay, so Leo is very egoic, but this is self-acceptance and self-love. So drink that in and nourish yourself so that you can prosper. You can't prosper. You can't grow. You can't do anything unless you receive the nourishment for it. The sleep you need, the quiet time you need, the food you need, the water, the air you need for basics. And I'm talking about your spirit. So an exact conjunct to Saturn is creating a very unusual full moon party. New paragraph. Oh, how funny. So remember that Saturn is about structure and hard work, doing it again. Restrictions, and Leo's about partying and fire. And we said that, shining, confident. So full moon has a different container. And this strict Zen master, we talked about that. And we talked about the rightness, the seeds that you planted. These could be things you started just at the previous new moon, or it could be something you started thinking about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 20 years ago, 50 lifetimes ago, whatever. This is a fruition time. So there is unequivocally, no matter who you are, something coming to fruition in your life. Maybe the fruit is there and now that relationship is going to die. Maybe that business relationship or partnership or roommate situation or whatever, is coming to an end. Maybe it was a temporary gathering. So whatever it is, let's come to fruition, be in receiving, look for the right things, enjoy. So here's one of my pictures from the middle of the night. Again, you can see that beautiful thing. Also, if you feel like the new year, we've talked about this and you want to move forward, it hasn't been time yet. The first few weeks of January, in my experience, are almost always not let's make it happen. And yet that's part of the ego mind saying, go, 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 do, you're a loser. You didn't do your resolutions and all that crap. So get ready in the next few weeks to finish being nourished by that yin rabbit energy. Get yourself, some new tissues and whatever makes you feel good right here. Doesn't mean you have to spend a lot of money, and get out of that. And many, many of you have been limiting yourself. You have more than enough money to, hire a mentor or a healer, or go on a trip, or buy yourself a blanket, or whatever it is. And you keep saying, no, I shouldn't. Yes, I should. No, I shouldn't. Yes, I should. I really want it, but I can't. You got to stop. You got to stop. And you're the only one that can stop. And all the help is here in the prosperous, peaceful, powerful present moment. Okay. Is this blocking your path? And you just have to get present, because these new doors are opening, but we're not used to them being there. You might be ignoring them. You might be walking by them, talking on your phone, angrily thinking about something else. And all these opportunities are standing right there and you walk right by them. You could be missing your soulmate like this. You could feel stuck or held back by old patterns, old ways of thinking. You could feel like you need a structure, or you don't understand the structure, or the structure is falling apart and you want someone else to give you the structure. If you're feeling like, I wish somebody else would just do this for me, then this is the story of what you're being shown. what is the dead weight and what is the thing that you need to accept is either blocking you, feeling restrictive, to shed it, to move out, expand, or to help to co-create your new path, to trust that it's there. So sometimes it feels awkward, like you might feel like I don't really want to talk to anybody, and this is where dropping in and cultivating this prosperous, peaceful present moment is so vital. All right. Now, a few days ago, Pluto moved from Capricorn into Aquarius. And if you follow astrology, you've heard people pontificating like mad people about this for over a year, maybe sooner. And it's a big deal because Pluto doesn't change signs but every 20 years or so. And the last time that Pluto was in Aquarius, we didn't know about Pluto. Nobody was tracking Pluto. And since then, Pluto was discovered, made a planet, not made a planet, and all of this, but it has a lot of power. It has a lot of power. Pluto is the god of the underworld in the archetypical energy. It is birth and re-death. It is transformation. It is change. And so sometimes it feels very challenging, very difficult. Like I always have to go down into the goo in order to fight my way out. And yet that's an old perception as well. Why not be like the cat? Like, hey, yeah, show me where's the dark cave that this thing's holding me back. Oh, cool. Let's go. Okay, got it. All right, now I accept it. It's over. Let's rise up and go take a nap in the sun. So this is a big deal because this isn't going to, it's going in, it went into Aquarius and went back into Capricorn. These are very different signs, okay? And Capricorn's hard work and building. So we've been hardworking our relationship with our shadow, our relationship with the shadows in the world that have been rising. We've been working hard. We've been building. We've been climbing mountains. We've been feeling like we need to do something and make something happen. That's the Capricorn energy in this particular area. So what about that work or that part of you have you been trying to build a bridge to, or a dungeon to keep it away from you, or you've been trying to deconstruct what you built around it mentally, emotionally? Okay, expand. We're talking energy, 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 energy. Think energy, see the energy, feel the energy, stop and tune into the energy. I'm telling you, this feels like this, and then you go in yourself, okay? This is how you're going to develop your intuition. Make sure you come to Intuition Awakening Summer Camp. So the God of the underworld wants us to change and grow. So it isn't like I want to capture you. I'm not the devil. This has nothing to do with all that evil mythology or Christianity or hell or whatever. Whoever is talking that stuff, that is not what this is. This is the cycle of life. This is the yin and the yang. Okay. And Pluto is saying, okay, what are you leaning on? What's the crutch that you have going on right now? What is the thing that you keep going back to? Well, I can't because of my kids. I can't because of my ex. I can't because of my money. I can't because of my health. I can't because I don't have a passport. Well, then go get your passport now. Stop waiting. Well, 6 months later, I still don't have my passport. Whatever is a key. Okay, you're using that as an excuse. Oh, I wish I could do that, but I wish I could do that, but. Honest to God, people who really took it seriously and wanted to come to one of the retreats, they got their passport in a pretty reasonable amount of time. One took a little longer, but we knew that, but still came in time, which we didn't know was going to happen. Another lady hadn't renewed hers, and it was 2 weeks until the Greece retreat, and she got it. So you don't know because you're the one creating the pathway. So you don't become attached to it. Oh, it has to happen. It has to happen. Oh, I'm going to meditate the right. And if I don't do it right, then I won't get the passport. You're going to say, okay, everything's in flow and I'm going to take these steps. And if it feels right, the next step. So that's being in the prosperous present moment, because in that moment, there's doorways, there's opportunities, there's people, there's things. Somebody like one of my clients in the prosperity class keeps sending me these texts like, oh my gosh, I repeated this process and all this stuff happened. And I realized all these patterns that I still have that are keeping me poor. Like, do you have to prove yourself as being poor? I did. I went through a bankruptcy. I went through a divorce. My family disowned me. My family, my other side of my family, like my ex and my kids, they blamed me. Everybody blamed me for, the disruption in our family because I was the one who wanted out of the relationship. So I had the choice every step of the way. Do I stop? Do I stay where I'm miserable? Do I stay where I'm getting sick? Do I stay where my soul can't grow? just because it makes everybody else comfortable to avoid this. And was it fun? No, I lost everything and blah, 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 blah. And again, now it was like, wow, I did that big. I went deep, which means I can go high. And I've been through that experience. And if I'm willing to learn from that, now you can have that. That's what this is, going through the cycles of life, or the Ouroboros, that is the eternal flow. So what are you leaning on emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically? You can walk on your own now. In fact, my opinion is you can fly. So there's no longer that need. Here's a few more pictures. So you may feel like these fears are chasing you. And yet if you take off and you begin to let go of how things happened before, the independent Aquarius energy will start to bring you to new technology that will help. So the things you dream of, I don't know how, the doors are opening. Everyone's evolving fast. Everybody's throwing money into tech and AI now. You're going to see stuff change so dramatically that the way you create, the way you work, the possibilities for your own time and space are going to open up. You've got to let go of the old paradigm and open. This is about developing an open mind, and this is the perfect time to do it with that inner fire. That connection to the confident part of you means that you're more anchored in your soul purpose in this moment. And yet, even though we're having this restriction, look what it's telling us, right? So the frustration I was having is, good, I want to get this done. What? That price is 3 times. What? These stupid little cheap sponges, I would buy like 8 of them in a pack. They sell 3 of them now, and they're half the size, and they're the same price. It's such a little bit of money. It wasn't about the money. It was like, I can't use a sponge that small. That is stupid. That is useless. Stop making everything smaller and cheaper and charging more. Just let me buy it. Let me buy it. If you have to charge more, fine, but don't take, So this was the kind of nonsense that I was getting stuck in, that was sticky and pulling me. And I don't normally let that happen. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. I'm being shown what these energies are like. So what was it showing? Well, clearly there's some dead weight on me. There's some crutch I have around controlling that stuff. And that's true. I am, since Chris's seizure, he's extremely functional, and I'm grateful he's here. Yet I'm in charge. I have to be in charge of schedules and money and making the payments and doing and organizing the day and getting us to town and everything. So if you understand, if that's your role in your family, then you have a lot of that logical mind that's constantly doing this. And even more, you need the balance of the meditation, of the being in nature, of the relaxation, of the nurturing energies, of not having that. So Capricorn in this shadow energy, in this looking and going through the cycles. But you know what you're doing is what we're doing in the next class. You are going into your own past, your own fear, your own contracts, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever level it's lodged within you, your chakras or your cells or your mind or your brain or whatever. And what happens next is, let's see if there's another picture. Oh, there's another picture. What happens next is really up to you. Who are you being? It is not about what happens. It's never been about what happens. It's never been about who did what. It's about what you made it mean. How did you react to it? How is it affecting you? Are you letting it annoy you like I did yesterday? Now, if I get annoyed or shocked, like, holy cow, that's 3 times the price for half the product, and it doesn't look like it's good anymore, I could go, whoa, and then I could experience that shock. Not a big deal, right? But it's still like, whoa. And I could let it move through me. And then I could be like, okay, wait a minute, readjust, rather than I get to run through this shopping and just grab the stuff I know. I have to stop and be in the present moment. I have to make a different choice, a different decision. I have to look for new sponges in a different brand. I have to compare prices. I haven't had to do this in a while. It's also mundane and stupid. Yet I have to look, and you want to look at the energy, the pattern. What's this energy just coming out of me? And it's like, okay, I'm being shown this is inside of me. And this is the opportunity. Okay. So now let's see here. We move into Aquarius, and we dipped into Aquarius. Now we're in Aquarius until November, and then, or September. Then we'll go back into Capricorn in Pluto again for a few months, and then it will stay in Aquarius for 20 years. So it's a little bit interesting, like dipping your toe in to get used to the temperature of the water, how this is happening. So now you can think about, we are moving into Aquarius. We're moving out of Capricorn energy. The sun is, the moon's in Leo. That's why it's a full moon in Leo. But the sun is moving from Capricorn to Aquarius, and we're moving into this. And this sign is a starting sign, right? This is this is an air sign, which is mental. And Aquarius is about what we talked about, that expanded intelligence and ability to reach new heights of reaching into the ethers, into the future, into the past, into your other lives, into your wisdom. What if we did this? What if we did that? Everybody's creating and co-creating and using. They're having feedback now from everybody using AI or whatever. I mean, we've been using AI for a while, right? I don't know about you, but Google's been checking my spelling on my, documents for a long time. That's kind of AI. So, it's just a difference of the support. And then more people are seeing the feedback. Oh, everybody likes this. Okay, we should fix that glitch and make this easier. Now we can talk to our phone. Now we have this. Now we have that. Now we have this. This is exploding. And like I said earlier, more explosion. So that is two things, though, in Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus and Saturn. And it is ruled by, because it was, they said it was ruled by Saturn before they knew. Okay. So, and so then it has these two feelings to it. It's that freedom and independence of the individual spiritual self, that where you listen to your own inner authority, you disconnect from everybody else, you become that detached cat energy, fully engaged with your life in the present moment, absolutely receiving, tasting, becoming, feeding that back into the universe. What other new experiences do I have? Feeding that back. You're meant to be a constant creation machine, not a constant puking up of the old shit machine, right? What if this happens to me? Bloom, there it happened again. Everybody's bad. Everybody's evil. I hate war. I'm afraid of it. Bloom, there's a new war. See, you're in that reality. I'm not. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. You're going to find the world is going to go in two directions. It's going to say, conquer, eat, greed, take, hack, take everybody's stuff. I don't care. I'm going to take over and I'm going to fight about it. And I'm going to have no sense of consciousness or conscience either. And we're going to see people who are saying, and that's going to be the part that wants more control. And the part of you that wants control, you want to disconnect from them. You think if you have goals or plans or monies or this or agreement or somebody likes you or whatever, that makes you safe, or that you have a plan. But the universe has a different plan, and that plan's doing this. And it's doing this faster and faster and faster. So you be in the present moment. Oh my gosh, look at this. Only for this moment. That moment might be 5 days, 2 days, 3 months, 1 year. I don't know. That particular energy and you, as who you are now, will only happen once. So Aquarius is saying, come be a fully embodied spiritual individual, and we need to be. And the other side is saying, but for the greater good of all, this is for everyone. You must give up your freedom. You must give up your rules. You must have vaccines. You must have whatever, okay? There's those two sides happening within this. And there's the sudden and the new and the change and the innovation and the pulling. And there's the restriction, the saying, not yet. Do it again, do it again. Are you ready? Are you ready? Sure, check, okay? So whatever's been birthing, whatever you've been hanging on to since about 2008, Pluto's helping you move forward, and whether it feels like you're being chased by fears. So we just talked about that. And the energies of change in our time are accelerated and unprecedented. And this is very important to understand, because I've been spouting this stuff for a long time, but everybody's talking about this now in the realms of this aspect of it. And there's no way to know how it's going to unfold. And it unfolds differently for me than for you. And if you're a child in Africa who's living in a grass hut and your mother died and you walk 4 miles to get water, you have a very different reality, a very different understanding of life, and a very different connection to nature, probably one that talks to the stars the way I can't, because I don't live somewhere that's that nature oriented. And yet there's aspects that are gorgeous and beautiful about that person's ability to experience a life from that perspective. And there's sad, terrible, painful aspects and beautiful, amazing, rare aspects, and the same for my life and the same for yours. So we're here to say, I am aligned with these energies and I'm going to live my life so fully in this moment, because my job is to then present that back to the universe, to put it in the Akasha. Now, one of the things people are saying, things like revolution and rebellion, evolution, innovation, is because the last time Pluto was in Aquarius, and we weren't tracking it, so nobody has a lot, but the French and American revolutions happened. And we can see war and unrest and injustice, and people speaking up more and being quashed more and being listened to more, and blame and argument and war and rules. And the more we're called to independence, like I just told you, the more the other side calls for control and restrictions for the greater good of the collective. So you want to walk a path where you make sure that you are listening to your inner voice, and you are not imposing rules and your opinions on others in an unnecessary emotional way to make yourself feel safe. All right. And everything we're talking about that's in this full moon energy is being illuminated by the full moon inside of that loving shell. So you can feel that. So I realize, although revolution is evolution, it does not have to be the same. It doesn't have to be violent. It doesn't have to be anything that is against or blames someone. It can be your own inner rebellion. It's an inside job. And these times are offering deep and unimaginable transformative opportunities to innovate for self and for the globe. So this is a collective awakening, an AI and tech disruption, globalism, the age of Aquarius, the deep state of conspiracy, radicalism, surrender, eco-crisis, birth, death, rebirth, and all that can't be seen or fully known. Metaphysics, alchemy, secrets, mysteries, things that are under the earth or buried within you esoterically, this obsessive and insatiable craving. I'm telling you to look for where that is, because the other side of everything, two sides, is that it's also regenerative, transformative, transcendent. It is resurrecting you. So facing the unknown is terrifying. This is an interesting thing that I borrowed from Susan Gerber. Facing the unknown is terrifying. Oh no, this is me still. To us too, as a species, Pluto and Aquarius can teach us that in reality, we can't know what to expect. So this is what I was telling you before. I thought this was very, very interesting. And I said, I loved this about not getting sucked into all the doom and grim forecasts. Everyone is selling fear, and it's just not the truth. Remember, you're being given one person's fearful perspective, who's clearly living somewhere low on the scale, or wants to sell you something by manipulating your energies and emotions. So either way, I don't listen. Now, you're more powerful than you know. So this is from Susan. But we don't have to be prisoners of fear-driven thinking. Overcoming isn't easy. It's like trying to swim against a ripping current. Yet it's critical that we take back control of our beliefs and values and train ourselves to return to a place of serenity, equanimity, and hopefulness. Even as we keep one ear to the ground and listen for the hooves, meaning, what's coming to get me, right? So let's see now. I think I'm stopped sharing. Good, there I am back again. Woo. Good. So that was our spiritual weather report, and I promised you a meditation. I just want to feel into if this is the moment. Okay, good. So let me just check in on you guys. Good food for thought, Lisa said. Good. Let me come back here because I love to see. I like this to be interactive. I wish we were all hanging out together. Won't it be great when we could beam somewhere? And let's see here. Yes, no, yes. Oh, okay. The moon is in love. Very powerful. What? I typed Leo. I love that. The moon is in Leo, and you wrote the moon is in love. Well, I think both. The moon really has that your wishes, right? What you love in it. So, hi Cheryl. Can't see the full moon here tonight as a super rainy evening. It looked beautiful last night, though. I know, right? Hi Lisa. Hey, listen, I finally found the Isis book, so I sent that over today. Take a look. Wow, that moon looks like the sun. I know. Like my 4-year-old last night asked me if we could imagine our sun as the moon and our moon as our sun. And I thought it was a beautiful insight. Wow. Super cool pick. I know, Donna, right? Oh my gosh. It's really, I'm so pleased that we got to share that. She's a night owl, so I guess the moon is her sun. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Well, the moon and the sun are very related because the moon does not have its own source of radiation light. It absorbs everything from the sun and then radiates it out. And this is the concept of that sacred feminine, absorbing, receiving, being nourished. Oh, now I'm full. Now you radiate out your creativity, your love. You feel safe. You feel nourished. You're not worried. You're not in survival. Oh, what are you illuminating, right? That's really what we want to be like. Hi, Ocean Goddess, 4-year-old granddaughter. Oh, I love that. Wowza. Clearing our limiting beliefs and remembering to use our birthright gift powers to be evolved humans. Yes, I love that. That's a really great way of saying that. Ready for courage. Been working on my safety lately. How cool. Yeah, you know, Lisa, the idea of safety is a dangerous ground to walk in. So be careful that you check the swamp, because we have false perceptions of what being safe means. We've been told if we save money, if we have insurance, if we keep a job forever, if we stay in a relationship that's not nice but safe or whatever, that we're safe and everything can go. Your relationship can go, a person can die, the job can end, they can stop giving you your insurance, literally everything. And that's the only constant is change. And now we may move into an era where it becomes irrelevant. I mean, it's already become irrelevant that you go to a job and stay there your whole life and they take care of you after you don't work there. That's ending, right? And it's very, very rare. And so we're seeing a complete shift, and yet we have more resources to help us independently and to be prosperous, to be able to not worry about someone else giving us something, and we can provide so and grow. We are the creator of our reality. So be careful as you redefine safety, that you look at what means safety to me and when do I feel safe. If you feel safe only when you know you have a paycheck coming, or only when you have a certain amount of money in the bank, or only when you've paid off your credit cards, or only when you don't spend any money on yourself, or whatever it is, okay? And just accept that, oh, that's very nice, but you take the energy from it. And you say, but I am the one that created that. So the feeling of safety isn't that, it's me. And you take that energy back and you let go the container. You can enjoy when you have someone pay you, right? Oh, wow, thank you. That was wonderful. But you can feel that energy all the time. And then your body, the universe, the energies, they're going to find ways to bring more things to pour into you in a prosperous way that you might like, that you would enjoy. So we need to step out of our comfort zone to see change and feel safe. It's very true. You're not safe inside your comfort zone because you're full of fear, because you're still attached to things you can't see. So every step of the way is roomy. You can't see the whole truth because the next level of truth unfolds after you go through the current level of truth that you learn. So you can't become a karate Zen master if you don't go through the different layers of training. And some of those things require you to go deep within and have a personal transformation. You don't just go, oh, I took this class, I read this book, check, now I'm done. You actually have to integrate it, and the shift has to happen. If you're familiar with the movie Doctor Strange, there's he's studying with a ancient master. It's sort of Zenish and all these different principles, but to be able to move through the astral field, go through dimensions, go to different places, and they're learning how to open a portal in front of them energetically somewhere else. So it's like, oh, London, I want to go to London. I want to go to London. I want to go, oh, I want to go to Chinatown. I used to live in London, downtown London. They have the best restaurants. I see it, I visualize it, I connect to it, I feel it, I'm there, and the portal then opens it, and I just run through it, and I'm there. And they use this as a tool of the movie, right? Well, why isn't that truth for us? Well, it is. We can travel through time and space. It's just that structure. But he's not getting it because he's in his head. He's not getting it because he's worked hard and he's used time and hard work his big brain, or other things to push ahead. And this isn't one of those moments. He has to have the breakdown. He has to have the spiritual breakthrough. That's where we are. And so what does his Zen master do? This is a good story for the energy right now. His Zen master says, she comes and says, come with me. She opens a portal and they go to the top of Mount Everest, where it is extremely cold and he doesn't dress appropriately or anything. And she says, you have to let go. You know, you're two in your head. He's like, no, it's my hands. It's this, it's that. Every excuse in the book. Okay. It's just a metaphor for everything we go through. Oh, it's not me, or I didn't do it right. Or what if I don't do it right? Or it's because I didn't have the right education, or this or that. No one's arguing whether it's truth, but is it true? Right? Is that really what's holding you back? And it's like, I forget what her words are, surrender. She said, you've got to surrender. You have to surrender and let it happen. Believe it, see it, look for it, seek it, instead of continuously seeing the frustration. I can't. This is the craving. Okay, look at that. The emotional body craves and the mental body is in disappointment. And the process, the reflection of your reality is enslavement. This is where you're trapped. And this is a place where you feel denied, you feel like it's not fair, you feel frustrated, and you have to disconnect from the craving. Surrender. The grandmothers told us this too. Surrender into the flow, and then helped us to create our own prosperity flow to literally float in and be infused by. It's a really profound, soft, sacred feminine, and yet incredibly powerful course that we're experiencing right now. I hope you will join us. And then in that moment, she leaves him there. So he's basically facing death. And she says, you'll freeze to death in 10 minutes. And in 2 minutes, you won't be able to think straight. And she tells him all of the facts about what happens to a human being at the top of Everest without protection. And then she leaves. She goes back through the portal and closes it. So he is left with, get your shit together. Stop saying it's something else. Stop giving your power away to anybody, and get rid of the dead weight. You're going to have to shed that shit, that idea, that thought, that belief, that fear, that resistance, whatever it is. Who cares? You don't have time. Right now, right here, this is the moment. You got to figure it out, or you're going to die. Do you want to die? I mean, death isn't the end of the world, but this is what we want. And this is what this Saturn energy does. It's like that Zen master. It says, listen, this is where you are. Do it now. I'm tired of waiting, but not tired because I'm tired, because you're tired, right? You're tired of waiting. Good food for thought. Lisa, is the concept of hard work the antithesis of feminine receiving? Wow, Nan, beautiful overnight photo. I know. I think change and growth, so ready and accepting. Let me get back to that and see a few more comments. Oh my goodness, that feels like me. Why do we need to prove that we're poor? Yes, that's interesting. My one of the students is having this experience because the issues of her life, with the same with me, like with other, divorces or shifts in this or that. I went through a divorce. I had ended up having to declare bankruptcy. I lost everything. It just kept going until there was nothing. And it was just this profoundly frustrating, insane experience. And yet, wow, like it was an opportunity for me to get kicked down the hill into the depths and come out a different reality. It wasn't, we're not slowing down for this. This has to change. This has to change now. I could say that I do my work every day now as best as I can. And I was even at the time at the current rate that I could. So is a concept of hard work the antithesis of feminine receiving? In a way, could be considered the nemesis. Nemesis is a goddess, by the way, a divine feminine energy. There's the energy that is what we would call the carrot, and I can't think of what the other one is now, the rod, right? Kind of kicking yourself in the behind to go forward and you don't want to, and putting the carrot in front and be like, ooh, I want that. Ooh, I want that. So you'll notice that your life moves forward varying degrees, right? Just like that. I want that. I will do whatever it takes to do that. I'm going to suddenly stop eating this. I couldn't stop eating that before. I'm going to go to the gym every day. I never went to the gym. I will go save the money. I've never saved money. Like whatever it is, when you find that click, you allow that inspiration, that desire to come up in you. And you may run into those unfulfilled desires at a lower level. That's what craving is. There's a part of you that feels you didn't get what you wanted. You were the one that was excluded. You were the little girl outside the candy store, whatever, whatever. That storyline runs through this life and through your soul into other lives. Those are the lives. If this is what you're facing now, is why do I feel like I have to look poor? Because you probably have lives where somebody killed you and stole your money, or killed you for your money, or betrayed you for your money, or for your wealth, or for your position, or for something else. And we still see this happening now in different ways. It might be just breaking up with you, ruining your reputation, stealing your money, or divorcing you. I don't know. Like there's different ways to do that. We don't have to chop your head off today to still separate you from your heart, your power, your voice, and so on. So hard work is important when you're in the flow, because being in the flow and being in prosperity doesn't mean you just sit like this and it all falls in your lap. You still have to make a choice. You still have to get out of where you are. You still have to be in flow and movement. You have to be like, oh, I'm being a download. I'm going to write that down. Oh, now I'm going to turn it into a product, or now I'm going to go share it with somebody, or now I'm going to make a painting of it, or now I'm going to, I don't know, whatever you do, right? There has to be a process. And the process might include hard work, but hard work how? Is it hard physical work for a short period of time for a massive gain that you love, or is it slaving and sacrificing because you're obligated, because you have to be the nice person that makes everybody like you, or have to please people, or you promised this person that you would do this even though you don't have the capacity any for it? If you can't give what you don't have, so you're depleting yourself. If you're giving your time, you're giving your money, you're giving certain energies to certain people, others' jobs, other situations, certain fears, whatever it is that's consuming you and making your life hard, because you feel bitter, because you feel disappointed, because you feel frustrated. Okay, where is that part of you exhibiting itself? It's just showing you that this is in here. So the dead weight of it. What you want to do is perceive. Somebody said this the other day on Facebook, and I rarely really look at people's stuff. And I've been invited onto some shows now, so I was looking at this lady's thing, and the question, I think it was a podcast, and the question was something like, "What do you think that hard work is important in spiritual growth?" Or no, maybe it was the other way around. Following your bliss is different than hard work, or something. I don't know, but I said, I think that they're not exclusive of each other. That you have to be aligned to your truth and aligned to what's calling you, and aware in each moment, like, okay, there's a belief that's not serving me. Oh, here's this. Oh, here's that. Right? So that idea of being in your present moment means sometimes you're going to be working hard. Maybe it's a lot of hours. Maybe it's a lot of thinking. Maybe it's a lot of sitting in peace and quiet. Maybe it's a lot of crying. Maybe it's a lot of cleaning out the basement. Whatever that is, it might feel hard because emotionally you're cleaning out your mother's basement and she just died. Okay? There's no way to make that pleasant in the fact that you have to physically do the work unless you hire help, or that you have to emotionally do the work because it's you and your relationship. However, you can change the state at which you enter that, how you consciously connect to it, what you make it mean, what opportunity do you give the medicine, the energy of the moment, of the past, of the mother, of the person, of the other guides coming through. Do you listen and respect what's coming up for you? So hard work, in the sense that we were taught, you're not good unless you work hard and you suffer. You don't deserve. You need to accept what's not good enough for you. Don't do what you want. Who are you to think you can have what you want? That's what I'm talking about, being stuck in the idea that it's going to take a long time to make money, or that it's going to be difficult to make money, or that it's going to use all my time, and I'm not going to have any time for my family, and I'll become one of those greedy assholes who has no life, and my family will leave me if I become, work too hard. All right, these are all real beliefs that have come up in my client sessions and my students and everything over many, many, many decades here. So we're looking at hard work in the context that it doesn't have to be hard, and you don't have to suffer, and you don't have to struggle. And if you drop into the present moment and you do some of the work that I teach, right, you get to weave it, you get to see it, you get to open it up, you get to say, what is this energy? Come up. I want to see you. What are you saying? What's this frustration that I was experiencing yesterday? Oh, thank you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. Let's clean off, give you a little bath. Let's let that wash away. The Earth Star will take what you need, the wisdom. Gaia will take the rest. It'll all get shot back into divine love. And what you have is that gem, that little rock, that wisdom that may not look like anything like a geode until you open it. And you may not know what it is that you've gained. You receive it and you move forward. Now, if it's like, feminine receiving is if you focus on becoming an excellent receiver, you're going to notice where you block receiving. And this is a very powerful and interesting process. And it's easy to do with money or love, compliments, ease. If you, oh no, I'll do it myself. Oh no, I can't accept help. I've been through times when I didn't have a choice for survival, but to accept help. And it was humiliating at the time and embarrassing, and I didn't like it, and I wanted to be independent, and I didn't want anyone to know, and yet it was so profound to see what shows up through people, through whatever. A lady in the class was texting me that not only is she seeing these patterns, and I had that too. I had to go through many realizations. And to be honest, there's probably still a part of me that still feels like I have to prove my innocence. When you go through bankruptcy, it's like, show us your papers. What are you hiding? What's underneath that? We're going to put you through the Spanish Inquisition another 50,000 times. What did you do? He's like, I don't know. I spent all my money on that. And then I did, it's like, oh. So then you go around like this, like, I don't have anything. I don't have anything. Really, I don't. And then you probably have other lives where maybe you had tax fraud, or you're thrown in jail, or some a relative took all your money. I've had many clients who had lives where they were wealthy and well-educated, had land or whatever, and the government or their family plotted against them, threw them in jail, chopped their head off. No fair, no justice, no trial, none of that nonsense. It was just whatever. I want your shit. No different than Russia. I want Ukraine, and this person, I want that. And so what do we see is that your ability to receive means you don't have to take from anybody else. Your ability to feminine receive, this is where we have to clean the sacral. We have to trust the root. We have to root into ourselves. We have to do this in the present moment. We're nourished. There's richness. There's solutions. There's love. If rest is required for us, maybe we're knocked down, we're sick, we're tired, we're not able to focus. We surrender into that flow. We're nourished. Then we get up. Today I felt fantastic, and I thought I was going to wake up with another big frustration ball. So whatever it was I processed, the full moon helped illuminate it, and yay. And I went for a big long walk with my honey bunny on the beach and collected my mermaid treasure shells and wove with the ocean and did all the things that put me back into flow. So feminine receiving is what we're talking about all this year in my retreats and in my classes, and that idea of the sacred feminine art of feeling strong and safe to receive. You receive first from yourself, and you're receiving from the divine, and you're putting yourself inside of a container so that you don't have to trust people. You don't have to surrender your power. And in order to receive, you don't have to sacrifice. You don't have to give up anything that you are. And maybe you decide to help somebody for a limited amount of time because you want to, but the minute that you're doing it out of frustration and anger, obligation, they're feeling the same thing, and now you've mucked up that energy, and it's not good for you to do it anyway. It's a new world we live in. It sure is. So proving you're poor was something that I didn't realize I was doing, and I also realized underneath there was a sense that no one will help me unless they see me as poor, because people judge you when you're strong and happy and powerful. And, I got criticized by family and people for being happy during my divorce. You're losing everything. Everything's falling apart. Who are you to be happy? How dare you do that? And I'm thinking to myself, why would I want to not be? Not that I wasn't going through my own pain and emotions, but the whole point of it was for me to train to go through shitty emotional situations and be at a higher state of consciousness. That's what I'm here to embody and teach. But most people don't see that. They're just dictated the energy and emotion by what they're going through. You're not dictated to. Okay, you're so welcome, Lisa. Absorbing, receiving, illuminating love. The sun reflects off the moon. And the feeling of safety as me I am own safe space. Thank you for that, Lisa. You're so welcome. It's true. You know, the only place we're actually safe is here when we realize that we are our own authority and we have resources. You can research, you can reach out. But right now, there's so much information. If you do not ask for your intuitive network, your own inner self to help you, assist you to discover what is optimal for you, you're going to literally have nothing to filter the ridiculous amount of information. And I'm not against people sharing information. It's phenomenal. It was like I was in a dark forest when I started waking up spiritually, and literally was checking books out of the library that were 40 years old, you know. And however, it's overwhelmed. And I used to think I had to learn everything. I couldn't imagine if I thought that right now, I'd have some kind of a nervous breakdown. I used to read 5 books at a time, no internet or anything back then, right? Sitting on my nightstand. I consumed and I cried and I processed and I lived my life and I consumed and I tried to figure out how do I bring it into my life instead of living normal 3D life and spirit life. And slowly it all fell apart and my daughter died and blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, I started to become more and more my flow. So this is the opportunity that we have, and the safety in your own safe place is that being safe isn't dependent on anything outside of you. It's not dependent on a certain time of day, a certain time of year, a certain amount of money, a certain job, a certain person. Your safety is that you're here as a divine spiritual being at the most epic moment ever. And that means you are seriously kick-ass powerful. And I'm not joking. Okay. I'm just waking up to this. And there's a part of me that's still resistant to saying, ooh, I'm a kick-ass powerful spiritual rock star because I'm here right now. But we all are, because this is not, there's no predictability right now. It used to take years, that takes seconds, and now that's expanding. So, okay, good. I've got to get ready for my prosperity magic class. So let me just tune in and see. It was really wonderful to have this interaction with you. I'm so glad that you come. I keep trying to make these shorter, and then I get here and I just feel like so much important information needs to be shared, and I like to hear and see you as well. So, okay, so let's see. Let me just see here. I'm new at this. I want to see. Oh, I don't know how to change it. So this is for the Dolphin Mayan Retreat. It's the only one this year. I don't know when or how it will be done next year. It's going to change. We're going to be doing deep sacred work with the energies and the Kundalini of Earth. There's the serpent energy, that shedding energy. There's Gaia womb energy. There's the dolphin recalibration energy. And we're going to do some new days with some sacred feminine healing healers that I've found doing the grandmother tradition. Isn't this interesting that the grandmothers start coming? And right after that happened, I get over there and I contact this new healer through a friend of mine who's been studying shamanic ritual for many years now. And she connected me with this beautiful Mayan man who came over, and everybody individually bought a massage and for 90 minutes. And we all came out and just went, I don't think you can call that a massage. He's a healer. He does sound, water, smoke, chiropractic, everything. All right. It was profound. And he said to me, my friends are bringing me. Will you meet me? And I said, no, just come on up. Just, come on up to the 3rd floor and come in. And he said, no, my friend, I want you to meet my friends. And he kept insisting that I come down and meet them. So I said, okay, sure. I can meet your friends. And I met this couple who she is trained in the grandmother tradition of the Maya in the area. So I was like, well, that's interesting. And my friend was traveling, so I started asking her, what is this? Do you work with her? What are you about? So I'm bringing these divine women healers. So this is a whole new dimension of healing. And that's what happens at the retreats is we bring together, it's me doing my healing and channeling and then sound healing and ceremony and communication with the dolphins and everything. It's other healers as well, opening dimensions and adding each level. And I'm looking to work with someone who does Tibetan gong bowls, okay, in the water cave of the cenote with it in the water. Okay, this is not something we've experienced. We've done the sound and the music and the gongs and above on the earth and and next to the water, and we've done chanting in the water. So this is another level, and we're in the womb. So we are affecting planet. We're affecting Gaia. We're affecting all the waters in the world. We're talking through time and space. This is a healing for you, but you're becoming a part of the healing for the planet. And this is all about balancing sacred feminine and masculine by honoring that ability to receive in a divine feminine way and flow and prosper. We must be the ones who prosper. Okay. This is the grease. And oops, where did it go? Oh, that's not the right one. Never mind. There's 1/grease, and that is just me now. It's my retreat, and I had invited Joan to come, but she decided before the end of the year that she was not really ready for that. She's been traveling a lot and doing things, so that's okay because it was my retreat. I planned the whole thing, and I ran the whole thing, and I organized the whole thing, and I'm talking to a couple of other women that may come along as healers. However, that's the organicness of that coming together. And then if you want to be on the newsletter, you want to ask us anything, please come over to nailakasha.com. So now let me see here. I like that idea. Thank you so much. So we are Leo, full moon. And we honor and acknowledge Saturn. And oh, I see what happened. Ah, how funny. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm trying to change it back to be just my name, and I don't know how. So we'll figure that out. So we're just going to take a moment here, and because I'm going into my prosperity magic class, and today is about money in my class, and humorous. I don't know if you're interested. This is my very first book I wrote a long time ago. Look at how cute and simple the cover is. It's called Already Rich, Secrets to Master Your Money Mind. So through all of my training as a master level hypnotherapist and energy healer with the shamans and all of that, it was, and the ups and downs of my life, it became very vital to me to learn what the hell's going on. How do I find peace? How do I choose my state, my emotions? I never used to be able to do that. And specifically, I was losing all my money. So this was during the divorce and during the bankruptcy and during all of that. I really turned my focus to that. My first online class was called The Spirit of Money, and launched my career online and became something that is very vital. In not that money is the most important thing, but that it's a reflection of our worth and our value. So why don't we do this in this Leo full moon? We acknowledge and understand Saturn. And this is available on Amazon if you would like it. And I saw it on the shelf, and I was getting ready for the prosperity class. So I went, well, let me just see, what I said back then. And I opened it up and I started, oh, that's kind of cool. So I'm sharing some of the affirmations. There's tons of affirmations in this class, in this thing here. Interesting. So, what happens when we are here with Saturn? We've been talking about Saturn is saying, come on, get on with it. Let go of the things you're making a crutch. Let go of the things that are dead weight. We accept that energy as we walk into this full moon, and we are here fully present in this moment, in the full moon. Now, feel free to choose any intention you would like personally, while also saying, oh, okay, here I am, and I am ready and willing. So what's the topic that's most important for you to be illuminated, to show you where you're finished, where you're ripe, where you can enjoy the rewards, or where you can complete that path as the full moon in a celebration of fire, of spirit, of confidence, of courage, light, accepting your power. Where are you holding dead weight that is keeping you from accepting your power, stepping out, speaking up, whatever way that may be? You don't have to be perfect to begin that path. Yes. And then we're going to really give great thanks to Pluto, that energy of death and rebirth, that energy of allowing us to let go, of Saturn saying, do it now. Don't move forward with this. It's going to make it hard. I don't want you to struggle. I want you to be ready. I want you to realize you're ready. You're supported. Thank you. These are very real energies, and we want to not appease them as an authority, but realize that that's the weather around us, the spiritual weather. And now we're going to relax, so you can take a deep breath in. Close your eyes, hold the breath, watch the breath, let the full moon rise in your chest, in your heart, wherever you're holding that breath. Let it go like a sigh. I enter this sacred space, this path, this luminous path that the full moon has opened for us, for me, for the planet, illuminating the path to this new year of power, growth, and creativity. And I am so grateful and ready and willing to pause, to breathe, to bring myself into this prosperous, peaceful, powerful present moment where everything that I require is all the support, all the ideas, all the energy, everything that's required. And I'm ready to accept that and allow it to be illuminated by this divine Leo full moon. And I accept the transformative energies, the independent energies, the spiritual, expansive energies of Aquarius to continue to show me the path to my independent spiritual nature. May this and all that is optimal for my highest good be illuminated now. And may I see, accept, and receive with grace and ease the light that will nourish my soul, my inner vision, my voice, my path, and awaken the sacred divine Kundalini in my soul blueprint, the dragon, the life force, the truth. So here you can say and ask if you would like clarity on money, on feeling safe, on prosperity, on next steps. Pick a topic, pick an area, or just bathe in this beautiful full moon. The silver goddess ray is pouring down over you. And you notice it's mixed with the gold ray. And these two divine essences and beings that represent the wealth, the money, the value, bathing you and illuminating for you where your prosperity is. Accept your divine timelessness, your eternal prosperous nature, your ability for magic. Accept that if you install a wealthy mindset, you will know that you are the master creator of your reality. Now, I am here to be a clear and congruent channel to my highest self, to my I am presence. When I accept my passion and my power, I unleash the gateway within me that leads to a reality I've been seeking. I'm already wealthy. I already have a mind that knows how to find the opportunities that bring wealth to me through ease, joy, and love. And I accept the illumination of this truth in the mind, emotions, the body, down into the very core and out through the spiritual body. Release this truth into the world. See yourself radiating like this full moon. I am wealthy in this very moment, and I can help more people. I can create more beauty and love. And I can have the positive effect that I wish to have and create the world that I dream of by being wealthy myself in love, support, nurturing, believing that my divine being is designed and I embrace my natural, prosperous state. And so it is. Take a deep breath. When you release it, let everything you've declared fill in that breath and go out through your cells, and then pulse into the aura, and then pulse out from there, the silver goddess ray, pulsing, sharing, expanding, radiating, and guiding you. I release, receive, and walk this beautiful path with gratitude and grace. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. We ask that this beautiful circle be open as we all move on our path, that we bring these streams of light and love and truth and belief above the din of grim and doom. We walk in light and love. We share it. We shower it. It comes from our voice. It comes from our touch. It comes from our steps. It comes from our thoughts. May this circle be open yet unbroken. And this illumination and this willingness to shed the crutches and the dead weight and to emerge ready to grow and create. Thank you, thank you. And so it is. Thank you, everyone. I would stay longer, but we've been here a really long time, and I don't want to scare people from watching this, and I need to get ready for my class. So thank you. You're so welcome, Lisa. Thank you. My friend Pamela does crystal singing bowls in water. Isn't it just the most divine thing? I haven't tried it. I want to play. I would be a little nervous about my crystal bowls, but I do have the ocean here and I have my pool, so I might try that. I grew up hearing money is God in action is a good thing. I like that. That is a very, see, you have an empowering belief already. And then you can say, if I have money, then I am God in action, and I'm co-creating with God, and I get to decide the positive things I can do with it and not spend it from fear or hold it from fear or judge where it comes from or judge who I give it to. All right, everybody. Mwah! Namaste. I love you. I love you. I love you. Come join the Prosperity Magic class. Let's go play. See you soon. Bye-bye.